Well, we bounced back well this week, I think, at the stable. It's been a pretty good week overall at the track, and obviously this time of year, I'm always enamored with the babies that do well. I came back to Ontario on Friday. There was a couple of horses that I thought were dogging it a little bit in their training session on Friday, and really didn't do a whole lot of training, so they trained again on Saturday and trained very, very strong, and that was Gaslight Hall and Resolve Indeed. Very, very happy with them. This was following 2 days. This follows 2 days of really good training sets in Ohio. I've been very happy. You start to see the roughest lists start to emerge now, and you're going to have horses jostle and jump up, but for the most part, top to bottom, you can start to see the lists start to form, and it's the coolest time of the year. It's such a bittersweet time of the year, very stressful with the stake payments coming, but very exciting with the babies, as I said, changing and jostling up and down that theoretical list throughout the winter into the spring. Speaking of the horses on the track this week, I was what was this? I was going to say that didn't happen this week. I was really happy with the way the horses did their work. Looking back, ending last week, starting off our week was Texan Soprano in Northfield Park. He looked great on Sunday night. He's going to make his New York debut Wednesday at Yonkers. Mark was down to drive him. I don't know if he is driving him, but he looked very, very good last week. Now on Monday, we got a real treat. We get to watch Spitfire Overseas and Renegade Gypsy both win at Dayton. They look good. Now Renegade Gypsy is elevated up into the Open or Open 2. I'm not sure. I think it's the Open. No, 100% it's the Open. He's going to be a little tougher this week, but he earned getting in there, so good for him. Whereas Spitfire Overseas has jumped a class, but is still favorite. So he's in that high-end middle condition class, and man, he looked great the other day. Great job by Stacy and Brett. Locatelli and White Tiger looked very good also. They're down a class, but still caught some killers this week. As I say that, they're picked, I think, for first and second in that 24,000 class. So although I hate racing horses together, it does beat not racing them at all. And I'm excited to see the entirety of Monday play out. Tuesday we had nothing. Wednesday was kind of a crappy day. It was a Wednesday. It really was hump day, wasn't it? Electric Line, who we were hopeful but didn't really know how that would play out. He was a beaten fourth. Resolute Bay was very flat, finished fourth also, I think, or fifth, and Scope very full of not thick yellow mucus, but thick mucus after the race. We'll be able to clean that up in the 7 days in that window to racing next time, and he should be fine. Never offered to run, did the work. He felt like he did all the work he could, which when we examined his airway afterwards, I think was a fair assessment because that's all he could do. I think he'd be much better next week. Then we went to Northfield Park. Kenobi raced terrible. It's going to be 2 weeks getting him squared away, and Saratoga opens in 2 weeks. We're sending Kenobi to Saratoga, so I'd sent out an email to my partners on him and made it a video. So hopefully if you caught this one and missed the rest of them, and you are a partner of mine in Texan Soprano or Kenobi, you have to be licensed in the state of New York before they race in the coming weeks. And then Walter's Keepsake, just the cherry on top, lost a shoe on the iciest kind of track and slipped. Now, I'm not going to blame the brake on him slipping, although I know it was probably a major component of it. It was me pushing him to get to the front. Now, as I said to Jason Merriman, he's racing again tonight. I had said to Jason, and I'm not worried about that. Walter's this big plow horse. It's like a Clydesdale. I like him. I like the horse. I had said to Jason, we know what he can't do. He can't quarter pole to the front. He dogs it going to the quarter, runs in a little bit in the turns. You just got to leave him alone and let him do his work. So we know what he can and he can't do. He'll have big giant daggers on tonight for corks, and one, he won't be slipping, and two, his shoes will stay on. I think Walter's Keepsake probably sitting on a big race tonight. Wednesdays was as I said, the cherry on top of a very dysfunctional Wednesday at the races. Thursday we bounced back very nicely. I was very, very interested, very impressed with Time Is On My Side. I just got done talking to one of my partners about him. And a wonderful, I said this a few times, the reason I keep using the word wonderful, the conversation that James and I had, James and older, I always, maybe this is like you when you're, no matter what your age is, you see your younger brother as a young kid. James isn't a kid anymore. He's like 35. He's a big boy. And, seeing him become, when he was a kid, Captain Canada, win the World Driving Championship, and being so proud of him, great. But just seeing him emerge as such a dominant figure in the driving ranks at Mohawk and just be a good all-around horseman, it's been impressive. And I say again, the reason the conversation was wonderful was because it, one, highlighted just how truly incredible our clients are and why they are. And two, the various paths that we can explore with Time Is On My Side, all dependent on how good he shows us he is. Not on what we dream he is or hope he is or could be, might be, but what he legitimately is in front of us. And that was important. So I had a great conversation with James. I'm not going to go through the whole conversation again. You're going to have to go back and watch the videos if you want from Friday morning, I believe, if you want to know how that conversation went down. Carter Michael Dio raced good, but really frustrated me, and he is really close to being a gelding, and I think next week will be a real watershed moment, and quite frankly, I'll be completely honest with my partners and everybody out there. I'm going to put him in a position to make a mistake next week, and if he does, if it is an unforced error, that is a mental judgment by him, he will be a gelding on Friday morning. I can assure you of that. So Carter Michael Dio is going to put his big boy pants on this week. We'll see how he races at the Meadows. Ready for landing. My takeaway was simple. I know Tom had messaged me a number of times saying, the blood come back, the blood come back. I don't really care. The blood is only going to confirm one of two things. Either there was something wrong, he had tied up a little bit, his GGT was up, his differential was flipped, and he's getting a little bit sick. It could confirm any one of those things, or it could confirm that it was likely his shoeing. The one thing I know about Ready for Landing is he's fast, he's strong, and I've yet to see him tired. Now, I did see him tired the other night. I guess that's not true. But James was certain he was slipping. That was only reaffirmed by the fact that he went out with Hallie in the Clouds, same shoeing, the next day, and she looked lackluster also and was seemingly fine afterwards. And James had driven a number of other horses that just didn't race well, and he was certain that it was that they were slipping on that concrete icy track at Mohawk. Now that track will be gone this week. By the time Ready for Landing races again, it'll be pouring rain all week. All the ice will be gone. Will they be able to race? I have no idea, but it will not be icy, I can assure you of that. So we'll see. Ready for Landing, the takeaway is simple. He was great at the gate. He was very quiet in a hole. He followed cover well into an attacking position. He just didn't see it through, and he couldn't see it through. And that was likely, could have been because he was slipping. We'll check the blood to make sure, but either way, I don't really care. The three things I talked about with this colt were the most important. The rest will come. Collector, yeah, I got a bad trip. Got a bad trip on Thursday. That happens. Not the end of the world. Actually, James will be driving Collector next week, and that is not anything more than, hey, it just didn't work out. Chris didn't have him in a good spot. It happens. I put horses in the worst spots in the world before. I've been fired more than I've been hired, I think, and I believe that one, it won't be the last time that Chris drives our horses. I know there's a lot of people out there that just aren't Chris fans, and I really wasn't when I was a driver for the most part, except especially one, he beat me. You know, he was a better driver, and two, very conservative guy. But that's the type of guy that you want on your hot trotters, right? So I don't regret, nor would I regret putting him on any horses again. He's a great driver, but in this particular instance, just it didn't work out with Collector. There was a bad spot he was in the other night, and James will be on the horse on Thursday. Just the way it is. And Stay Special race great. You know, talking about having a horse in a great position. Stay Special was in a perfect position from start to finish and looked really, really good winning a race. So a great job by Dominic, by James. Shelby, I believe, takes care of her. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But everybody that played a role in her or any of our horses here in Ontario Racing, you're doing a wonderful job. Friday, I just watched Patrick the Perron, and on Friday the races were canceled. Easy in the Turns, our only starter, a winner. 2-5. I know I had people quite a dissenting view of Easy in the Turns. We had, here's the panel, you had half saying 2-5, 31 in the end of it. Let's not get too excited. That's fair. You know, it was icy. She hadn't raced in 2.5 weeks. We can make excuses, but that's fair. And then the other people saying 2 in a row. She looked good. The track was really hard. It was cold that night. You're both right. and you could both easily be wrong. Easy in the Turns will have to come forward, race the numbers of 2, and be better, or she won't be with us this summer, and you guys know that. But I'm going to be Switzerland on this. I thought the filly raced great. 2 starts, 2 wins, great job. Jay Harris drove the filly good. Dominic's done a great job with her, and I am eager to see how she's going to race in the coming weeks, regardless of what happens. So I'm not going to jump to any conclusions until we have to with Easy in the Turns, but I was happy with her last 2 races, that's for sure. I just watched Patrick DePrano race on Saturday because Friday they canceled the races. That's how much snow was coming in Pennsylvania. It was snowing again today. Patrick was in a place to pounce. He was. But if you do note the track, it was snowy. Now, the rain is coming this week. It's going to be a sloppy track. We may just remove the flip-flops from Patrick for a week. Slide a set of steels on him or even aluminums on him and race him this week at the Meadows. So if he looks different this week, good or otherwise, there may be the shoeing change may have played a role, but I haven't talked to Tim about it yet. But watching the snowfall and watching the hoof prints in the track and how they were that deep, I can't imagine you get through the track real well with flip-flops on. We may supplement that shoeing just a little bit this week and change from a flip-flop to maybe just a normal shoe, aluminum or steel this week. A conversation will be had with Tim to see what he thinks and stay close races later on today. And that will also be the afternoon racing. But tonight we have Delicious Stone with Lauren in a good spot in an amateur race. Good luck to Lauren. And Walter's Keepsake, I talked about him earlier. I think you're going to see a much better race from Walter's Keepsake tonight. Sunday, we had Irish Ray in, but Irish Ray is going to be scratched. He was full of mucus after he trained this week. That was long after his entry. So he just won't be racing this week. Hopefully we'll be able to get him squared away for next Sunday. But for this Sunday, he won't be racing. So we are barren on Sunday. Nothing to watch out of the stable on Sunday. Monday, though, we have lots going on. We have Spitfire Overseas. Super excited about this race. Renegade Gypsy, excited to see him race. Kings County, I'm eager. Zero expectations. Listen, a check would be like winning the Hambletonian in that class. He's got the 9-hole in the open off an extended period of time and a 2-minute qualifier and a 58 schooling session. I can't imagine he's in a position to do a whole lot of damage on Monday, but we'll see. We'll see how he does. Good as Him is in Monday. Tough spot for him, 55 to 65 claimer at the time. In hindsight, maybe the numbers of 2,000 non-winners is so much last year. If they let him in there, would have been nice. But I think he's had 2 strong qualifiers. A schooler, training down. Listen, I think the horse can probably compete in there. And then we got our boys Locatelli and White Tiger picked, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, picked for first and second on Monday. So that should be really, really cool. So happy with the babies this week. Let me see if I can skip over here quick. Just give you some quick highlights on the horses this week. I'm only going to talk about the ones that really impressed me, right? I don't want to. We're already at 13 minutes. I guess I can go through all of them, actually. Let's just go through all of them. Allie's got grid. Haven't seen haven't seen him yet. Arrowhead Hanover is just getting back training. Look good. Atron, I don't know what the hell his name is. Was good. Not as good Saturday as he was on, or Friday as he was on. She was on Tuesday. The reason being there's a lot of snow on the track, and Atrante wears flip-flops. Aunt Lily was great start of the week and then made a break on Joey again. Snowy track. I'm not too worried about that. Baby Zet just getting over coughing. She was coughing. Just a nagging cough for about a week. It's gone now, so she'll be back training this week. Bluebird Tuxedo Hill was very good. Very good training. Blue Ventura was exceptionally good also. Cadieux back training now, look good. Captain Incredible's getting in the swing of things. Very happy with that. Happy to see and hear that. Century Legion looked great here in Ontario training. This is the Trixton colt. Chicago Hall looked good. Johnny went with him. Cleveland Masha did her work okay. Country Dancing skipped the week. She had a little bit of an infection. She's fine now. She'll be training this week. Dancing by Myself, tough start to the week. We made some wholesale shoeing changes. He was awesome training on Thursday. Very, very happy with him. Dancing in My Socks looked great. Jason put a big move on us in the third quarter. Again, somebody had a great question this week. They said, Anthony, when you say the horse went in such a time, are you saying that was an impressive time? Is that what you thought they should go in? That's a great question. Mostly it's just informative, right? I'm just saying this is how fast I went, and for the people out there that maybe have a little more knowledge of horse racing, they know that I mean by that, but maybe you do not. Now, when I say put a big move on us, this wasn't a racehorse move. This was we went a half in 26, and we went a much faster last half, a pretty good third quarter, and this horse looped the whole field. Nowhere near racehorse speed, obviously, but looked very good. A big move, an impressive, eye-catching move from Dance on My Socks. Finished off the mile and looked good. Fire and Shine's doing her work well, looked good also. Freedom Hill made a break in the last turn. She's a V martingale on, needs some bandages on behind, bell boots up front. We're on it. Don't worry. Next time you see her, she's going to look fine. Foxy Seaside, I jumped over her. Jason said she trained well on Thursday. I didn't see her, but they said she trained well. Gaslight Hall trained he didn't train that great on Friday. I thought he was very ordinary looking. I was here Friday night, went over to the barn on Saturday. We put hobbles on him, added some weight to him up front. Zoom. He was very, very good training on Saturday. So, Greg, just a little update. Quite a big lifetime mark put on this guy on Saturday. I don't think we'll have any problems with him moving forward. Gorgeous package, looked good. Grand old chap, he did it. He jogged for one full lap this week. Yesterday, Joey jogged him on the backtrack, and he hit the trot. So that's a start. One full lap for, it took 4 months, but 3 months. But one full lap is now on the books for Grand Slam deal. Looked very good training yesterday. Made a break at the wire, but she just overtrot. And I let her overtrot herself. She was trying to come to Dance on My Socks and was trying hard. Let her try hard. She made a little mistake. She won't make it next time. She was very good training. Green Glitter was exceptionally good again this week. He's a great guy. Trained great yesterday. Jason did a great job with this guy. High hopes coming. She have a transition now where she's learning to snap, right, move quick. And she has to overcome her fear of touching herself, getting out of gear. She's just at that first hurdle, but looked very good the other day doing it. I Don't Play Nice looks great. I love this. I can't wait to go with him one of these days training. I only went with him once, and I told you what I thought of him. I can't wait to go with him again. I'm a Trucker. Had a temperature Friday. Couldn't go. Made a break at the start of the week, but I think we got him square now. Leggy was very good training Friday. This is his sister to Compass Rose DC and looked great on Friday training. LT Troubadour, very good. Not the fastest mile, but one of them this week, and looked exceptionally good doing it. No tractors, no trucks, nothing around to scare him or to look at. TV wasn't on. The flags weren't flapping. There was nothing for it to scare the life out of him. He just focused on his work, and he looked very, very good doing it. Manhattan Money looked better. Almost close. I think we'll maybe throw the hobbles on this guy this week, and I think he'll look that much better, but he looked good on the track. Melisandre looks good, continues to look. Memento Mori is a powerhouse. Truth be told, when push comes to shove, probably the number one horse in our barn right now. Speed-wise, durability, understanding is Memento Mori, right? There's a number of horses in the talk, in the mix, but from what I can see, all things considered, probably king of the castle right now. Mountaineer Prince looked awesome. It has looked good. Training the last little while. Looks great. My Wicked Heart, I saw her today. She looks good. Again, she's going to struggle on this deep track, this filly, and I think she's doing her work well. Let's just continue to let her do her work well. Never Lose Felix. I went with Felix. He looked great training. We put the hobbles on him. Officer Soldier Boy, Brenda's horse, looked very good training on Friday. I thought he looked really good. Oh He'll Know, sneaky good. Really fast filly. Makes silly mistakes sometimes, but very nice filly. And I thought she looked incredibly good on Friday. We'll see how she looks next time we have the video cameras on. Keep going. Pelican Owl was good again. Very happy with him. Princess Dream looked amazing on Friday also. Couldn't quite get to the... was it the Century Horse? I think it was. Slimer and the Century Horse. I thought she finished up her mile well. Jared Bothwell went with her and said, what a nice filly she is. She does nothing wrong. Resolve Indeed was great today. I went with her 241, 240, something like that. She was exceptionally good. Hobbles on first time. Rose Run AJ's been training good, looks good, and Rose Run Alexandra is a machine. She can fly. Rosetta trained good. She sits at the bar, look good. Southwind Idex look good. Speed of Sound look good. All these horses, that's why I was so happy with the babies. They all look good for the most part. We had a couple that were lackluster, a couple that are behind everybody. Even had a couple of breakers, but for the most part, these horses, a lot of them look very good. The Priest missed a week. He was coughing. Trevino on green won his set. That's who she was coming to. He looked good. Wander Hill did make a break, but is getting better and looking better. Westland Warrior, I think this guy's going to give old Maury a run for it, I think, over the next little while. He's not going to sneak up on anybody. He can fly. What a Lady, What a Night, haven't seen in Illinois yet. Woodmere Betcha looks great. That's the Maritime 3/4 sister to Woodmere Steel Deal. She looked very good training on Friday. And Yves St. Kemp missed a week. He cut his pastern. We had to actually stitch it a little bit. He's fine. There's nothing there but bone and skin. It'll heal quickly. So really, really happy with him also. So that is your opening. You got a quick rundown of the babies. We talked about all the horses racing, how everything is going nicely right now. Things will get a little sticky soon, but very happy with the way the horses on the track, off the track, in the barn are working. All our caretakers putting in a hell of a great job, and I'm just really impressed with the entire operation top to bottom. So with that, I did turn a short opening into a 22-minute opening. I hope it was informative. I will talk to you all very soon. Have a wonderful week. Take care.